Hello guys, how you all doing? Welcome back to Gospel News. We don't come back today, being the 5th of May 2023. How on a day? Welcome back to the channel where they drop update on as it take the happening. We'll go straight. They said that the Biafra Prime Minister, where they call Simon Ekpa, the guy don't vex. Go right what did they call him? The prince Abi king of UK, what did they call King Charles the second Abi third. They said they want to do the man coronation tomorrow. Will be Saturday, will be the 6th of May 2023. Say they want doing coronation that day. So many people are requesting for compensation, this and that. Even South Africa, as they talk to you now, they still came out to say that they should return the gold, diamond, and everything within thief from their country. I say all this Oyibo self now thief. Now so they come Africa, come loot everything, go their own country. Some of our people now so they go they use Bible, come they deceive us, say, oh, now our forefathers now them worst for this world. They do this, they do that. But go check the history of waiting Oyibo people thief from Africa and waiting they commit. And I go see say even God never start to they punish them. They still need more punishment from waiting they do Africans. But our own people go demonize our own parents, forefathers, like say, now them be the worst, now them even be Satan. So our own people take they do. Una go church, think say, no, nah, come be sent. Now them be devil. Shame on to such people. In fact, I will go straight to the reason why we are here. So the Biafran government in exile Prime Minister, where they call Simon Ekpa, say the guy vex right to the king of the incoming king, say make him do something very quickly, and that is referendum. We don't want compensation or any apology, but referendum. Ekpa tells King Charles III, that's his message to him, make them do very quickly and give us referendum. And secondly, here they say that while I don't boss out to say all these nurses and midwives way wrong, go UK, and the doctors say, the motion of fee strike their quarters. Over 500 Nigerian nurses, midwives working in UK could be sacked, deregistered after the red flag shows likely fraud at Ibadan exam center. So, wahala dey everything for this Nigerian. So wuru wayo, bege. And they say that it will take the grace of God for the Nigerian government to be able to pay salary starting from June this year, because money they almost finish for our treasury. This is coming from the governor of Edo State within the call of Baseki. Another video, I go take the support my claims today. We'll go straight and see what in the Prime Minister don't talk. Give this man now where they come in. Now they say Simon Ekpa, a pro-Biafra agitator and separatist, has told the United Kingdom's monarchy under the leadership of King Charles III that the indigenous people of Biafra should be given a referendum. And I said, yes, we stand on that and we support him fully and 100% on that quest. In a statement on Friday by the Finland-based lawyer and self-styled Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE, he disclosed that the Igbos do not want an apology nor compensation, but freedom to exit from the Zoological Republic within the call Nigeria. According to him, the bond binding the parts of Nigeria expired 100 years after the 1914 amalgamation by Frederick Lord Lugard. I don't know why then they put this Lord here. Waiting that one means self. This thing it don't expire since 100 years after this 1914 amalgamation by Frederick Lugard. So Mona remove that Lord. You know the Lord over anybody. You know they feed anybody. Papa abi mama. So Mona remove that nonsense Lord there. I don't know who in the Lord over. He appealed that the UK monarchy should honor the demand of Igbos to have Biafra. Let's see his statement in full. Indigenous people of different parts of the world, whom the British Crown colonized, exploited, looted, enslaved, killed, and stole their resources to develop the British Empire, have been writing to you, justifiably seeking monetary compensation and or an apology On the contrary, we, the indigenous people of Biafra, are neither seeking monetary compensation nor an apology from your empire. Rather, we ask that you and your exalted office to support the peaceful exit of Biafra from Nigeria and restore the sovereign state of Biafra. We wish to remind you that Frederick Lugard's amalgamation of the southern and northern protectorate of present-day Nigeria was established in 1914 to last only 100 years, which have expired. Moreover, the amalgamation agreement, which made Nigeria one country and was in the sole interest of the British Crown, has expired. The amalgamation agreement of 1914 stated that after 100 years, any tribe, group, or region that does not want to continue in the Union will be free to exit the Union called Nigeria. The year 2023 makes that agreement 109 years. Therefore, in fact, and by implication, the agreement has expired. The amalgamation agreement is binding, and Nigeria should and must be renegotiated. Freedom must be granted to all groups that wish to exit the Nigerian Union, especially the Biafran people. Apply your good judgment and exalted office to review the amalgamation agreement and support the demand for Biafra exit from Nigeria. Nigeria is made up of several nations, states, distinct and parallel with dangerous diversity. There is no commonality between the people of southern and northern protectorates. Hence, the amalgamation was selfishly and wickedly conceived and implemented without due representation and consideration given to the distinct cultures of each ethnic group. This explains why it was hurriedly signed into law without consulting the indigenous people of the country. Since the British in their rule imposed amalgamation, there has been a constant rift between the tribes. Each tribe is suspicious of the others, and each fighting to dominate the others. There is no unity among the different groups who were forced into this unholy union. Nigeria has not progressed because the relationships between the tribes have remained cantankerous and pugnacious. The amalgamation of Nigeria was more of a business venture for British, the Queen of England, and without regard for the people. However, the good news is that the amalgamation agreement don't expire. We wish to remind you that Biafrans occupied the territories of the old eastern region of Nigeria, and they are estimated at over 75 million people, some living in Nigeria and others dispersed worldwide. Biafra existed as an independent nation from 1966 to 1970, when Nigeria, Britain, and their allies fought Biafra and annexed Biafra into Nigeria in 1970. As you know, Biafra land is very richly blessed with human and material resources. 95% of the oil and other mineral resources that fuels Nigeria's economy comes from Biafra land. Yet, we continue to suffer extreme inequity. We are not interested in oil, but we are more concerned about the repeat of Afghanistan in Nigeria, as every indication is that the Islamization of Nigeria is now in the compilation stage. This could lead to a very bloody war if nothing is done to solve the problem. The indigenous people of Biafra insist that because of the gross injustice, human rights abuses, tribal supremacy, fanaticism, ethnocentrism, and class bigotry, we are determined to exit Nigeria through a peaceful referendum. The indigenous people of Biafra are therefore demanding from the Nigerian government, in which the Britain has an excellent influence, a referendum in the exercise of our right to self-determination as prescribed by the international law. We want to exit from Nigeria and restore the sovereign state of Biafra through peaceful means. Biafrans have been killed willfully and with recklessness abandoned in Nigeria for decades. Continuous stay in Nigeria is an existential threat to Biafrans. In 2016, more than 160 Biafran youth were shot dead in cold blood at Ngwa High School, Aba. The Nigerian Army declared Operation Python Dance 1 and 2, in which they stormed the home of the leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, killing over 50 Biafran youth. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu escaped assassination by whiskers. The army went to Uzowani in Enugu State and massacred over 100 Biafran youth. They did the same at Ihamufu, Izombe, and Aguleri. Just after the general elections in Nigeria, about 40 people were shot in cold blood in Aba, Abia State, when some unarmed youths marched to the street to demand the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who was extraordinarily renditioned to Nigeria and still being held captive by the Nigerian government, even after the court discharged him of any wrongdoing. The soldiers also wounded hundreds of other innocent people. On the 1st of January 2023, the military-led siege on the town of Ihube, Okigwe in Imo State, burnt down the town. After the presidential election in March of 2023, the military and political thugs burnt down the businesses of Biafrans in Lagos, Maiduguri, Abuja, Kaduna, and Kano, to mention less. To ease off these hostilities before it degenerates into another full-blown war, we call on Your Majesty King Charles of Great Britain to revisit the amalgamation agreement and enforce its cessation, encourage the renegotiation of Nigeria, and grant all indigenous people who wish to exit Nigeria have the freedom to exit peacefully. Although we demand a referendum and a peaceful exit from Nigeria, we the Biafran people, through the Biafra Republic government in exile, stand in solidarity with others who demand an apology from you. We ask that you stand on the right side of history and correct the wrongs of the past, or your name will also be written in dust of those black people. White people will be say their hearts are black like charcoal, be like devil own. Will be these people will be say they don't use us do caricature for Nigeria. South Africans are asking these same people now to return diamonds in Charles crown jewels. The same in UK bring back their diamonds. Will be say they don't thief, conquer go put for the crown where they want the crown their king. You can imagine all those crimes. Imagine if an African goes to the UK or any of the Igbo countries, go there and thief all these diamonds, or go to one of their maybe locals and rob them or do something like that, escape successfully, for example, and comes back to Africa and put that same stolen diamond or gold or whatever on the crown of the king in Africa. Won't they extradite the king to that very country and kill him and jail him forever? But look at them. The UK people, you are proud of stealing. This is criminality. The UK people. The UK people should be ashamed of themselves for stealing and looting in Africa. And yet, we have discovered that you people are thieves. Return waiting on a thief to the rightful owners, the hard owner. King Charles III, I beg, since Queen Elizabeth, he did very heartless not to have returned the stolen goods from Africa. I beg, return our properties to the rightful owners, because we no do any bad thing. We know thief on our own, but on every Oyibo people, commit more atrocities more than African people. So I want to use this opportunity to tell Africans to stop demonizing on our forefathers. And so this world be in that era. Now so it be. So some of you are so foolish that you don't even want to know about your grandfathers, but you want to know about King Charles, you want to know about Queen Elizabeth. Some of them, they celebrate them on social media, not knowing that now then don't kill you and put you in a mess. So don't be foolish and silly. Grow up and get sense to know that these people have committed more evil and atrocities, even more than your forefathers. Now, within I say, make I just tell you now, before we proceed and go to the next update. It be like say time don't go, and I go feel update on the other ones. But anyways, thank you very much to the Biafran Prime Minister for sending this strong message to King Charles III. And we also expect a very responsible response from King Charles III as we proceed to the, how do I put it, to the exit of Biafra. Now, by fire, by force, nothing is going to stop that. I'll see you on the next one. Remain blessed and God bless you. Thank you.